Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be working on this quarter panel. It was like the very first welding job that I did, or one of them. Did the sill first I think, and then went on to this. So I think I ended up going over it about 3 times with the welder, so it's very distorted. Really bad. So I'm gonna the backside still has weld on it, so I'm going to clean that up just now and then have a little bash at panel beating and then some catalloying. There's that ground back. Never went heavy with the grinder, just enough to clean it, and I'll do the rest with the finger sander.
It's 13 degrees and there's fog in the street and the sky.
Sanded back with the finger sander. Haven't bothered doing these bits yet, I'll concentrate on them later. That's pretty solid with the folds in the van. That's not ever going to really go out of shape too bad. It's got, because of the warping, I can't get it really flat now, but I'll flatten it back properly once I've dealt with the warping. I still have some high spots of weld on this side, so I'm going to grind them down with the finger sander now. Right, I went over the outside with the finger sander now. Now you could really see just how warped it is. I think I'll be doing most of my bashing from the inside to try to get it out to begin with anyway. Right, there are my weapons of choice. I only have the 3 hammers. I have more than 2 dollies, but I can't find them. They're kicking about somewhere. I got the set. It was like there's like 5 dollies, the 3 hammers. I got a set. It was £10 off a Gumtree, so it was a no-brainer to buy it. They're not the greatest hammers, but even for the dollies, that was worth it. They're a bit rusty, which I know is not good for panel beating, so I'm going to give them a quick wee sand with some rough sandpaper now, and have a bash at hitting the van. Yeah, I've cleaned that up enough. I'm going to have a shot at hitting the van now. Sanding the van, it was kind of obvious that it's this bottom edge under the weld here that's warped in the way, so I think most of my bashing will be bashing this way out, so I'm going to have a wee go at that. Back at the quarter panel again today. Started bashing at this bit yesterday. Couldn't do this bit because inside it's tucked behind where the light goes and that. I was having a wee bash at it, but it's still welded on the back side of here, so I'm going to have to try and get in there with the finger sander and weld and grind that back, because it's holding it from like popping back out. This bit I've got looking not too bad up to about here, and then I'm going to have to take the sliding door off to do this other bit because I just can't reach from the tailgate side. If you look down the bit I've done, it's quite hard to get it not to focus on that part. That is way better than it was, so I'm going to keep hitting at that. Right, this is as good as I can get it. It's not, can't see the screen. is way better than what it was. Show you from the other side. Obviously, like I said, this bit's held by the light, and I can't do anything about that dipping in just now because I can't hit it. It's the same here where the support for the tub is. I can't get in to hit, so there's not really much I can do. That'll just be cat alloy. I'll turn the phone round, and there it is from that side. So it's not, you see it looks bad there. So I'm going to have to do a bit of cat alloy work. I'm going to take this runner off for the sliding door. I've mixed up some bridging filler first, so I'm going to get that on. Right, there's the bridging filler applied. You're not trying to fill the gap, if you know what I mean. You're just trying to get a layer of it's a fiberglass and resin mix, and that just stops any cracking, apparently, on your welds that you've already done. Right, there is the bridging filler sanded. You can kind of see for that the high spots and the low spots, high spot, low spots, so on. I'm going to hit it with some cat alloy now. That cat alloy hardened up on me too quick there. I think I must have put too much hardener in it. Just started going off straight away, so I had too much hardener in there. There's something not right with this cat alloy. That's only been like a minute, 2 minutes since I started using it, and it's went off already. I don't know, it just looked as it normally does. I'm going to phone Chopper and see what this could be. That that cat alloy that I got there is probably about a year and a half old, so it might be off or something like that. I have this stuff which I've just got, which is, as you can see, a finish-in filler. I'm just going to have to use that just now to see if that's got in it, how that works. Although that was quite dodgy, cat alloy in with that stuff, managed to get some on there. So going to give it this finish coat now. New cat alloy and new hardener. That stuff went on a good bit better. I've put that's about 3 or 4 coats of the finishing coat it's had. I've sanded it back a couple of times, it's pretty flat. I've given it a dust coat of paint just so I'm going to sand it back, and then that'll show me my low spots again, and I'll put some more fine filler in there. Right, everywhere that is still dark is a low spot. The high spots are obvious because they're bare metal. That's probably my panel beating, but that's the high spot, so that's the high spot, so that's what we're going for. We're working off of that, so we'll get some more fine filler in. There it is with yet another finish coat filler on it. I'm going to give it a dusting. It will need yet another coat. I'm going to give it a dusting again for high and low spots. You can see we're nearly there now. The dark spots are the lows, so they're getting fewer as I'm doing each layer of the fine filler. Getting there. Right, this is one of my, in fact it is the biggest catalloying job I've ever done. I'm learning on my feet here as we go. First time I've ever used finishing filler or that. Again, learning as I go. You have to kind of cream it over the whole thing as I'm learning as I go. I've got it, you could see the low spots, they're very minimal now, but as I'm going I'm finding I'm out. You can see where I've had to, this was rusty here on a previous repair. I've welded it in, the panel's out of shape, there's still weld on the back, so it needs work. So in order to get this panel right, I'm having to get this panel right now. You can see I've given it a quick sand, you can see the high spot, low spot. So in order to get this panel right, I have to get all this correct as well. So I'm going to progress on. Quite enjoying doing this. This started off as a big dent in, and as you can see what I've done, I don't even know if this is how you're meant to panel beat. I'm probably doing it wrong, is I'm working from the high spot and just keep tapping it at the low spot. Like if this is a high spot and this is a high spot, I'll keep tapping between them all the way around until it brings it back up, kind of thing. And I've just been doing that and working my way along it, and it is bringing it back up and out the way from being an indent, so I presume I'm doing it right. Quite enjoying doing it, so I'm just going to keep chapping away. Right, there is the fruits of my bashing all day. Probably just go stop the video there, it's went on long enough so far. Thanks for watching.